The number one emotion that fans are looking for is belongingness.
Hi, welcome to the Halftime Snacks. My name is Ronena Inbinder. This show features the stories of talented people working in sports. Are you ready? Let's go! Joining us today for the Halftime Snacks is a sports tech enthusiast and a thriving entrepreneur. Coming to the show all the way from Budapest is a marketing specialist who is creating new marketing and business opportunities for sports organizations by bringing IT solutions to sports events organizers. He's the CEO and founder of Seyu, a fan engagement platform that allows sports teams to collect fan data and instantly distribute user-generated content on their existing platforms. Our guest area of expertise lies in the intersection between marketing, sports, and technology. It is an honor and a pleasure to host him in the Halftime Snacks. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Vechy.
Hi Ronan, thank you for having me.
Tom, it's great to meet you and to host you on the Halftime Snacks. I want to ask you a question that may sound deep, but I want you to give us a 1 to 3 minute answer. And I want to know, when you look forward to what you aim to achieve in the decades to come, what do you want your eventual Wikipedia to say and why?
Yeah, coming from sports and technology background, obviously I figured the most value I can deliver to the world is this field. And I decided to dedicate the first part of my life to this and bring happiness to the fans all around the world and tremendous value to the clubs who we could work with. And probably, moving on from this one, still, having a foot in sport, but trying to achieve different fields, different goals, in life, I would move on to renewable energy. If the world let me to do that, that would be great, if we could contribute, or I could contribute personally in finding a new way of harvesting renewable energy and help millions, if not billions of people to improve their lives thanks to that.
What were 3 to 5 key moments in your life that drove you into building Seyu? I mean, you can only connect the dots looking back. You can never know how the dots are going to connect in the future. So now, today, December 2020, how do you look back and see the things that connected in the past 3 to 5 key moments that drove you into building Seyu?
Yeah, you are dead right about that. When you have to define these moments in your past, you can only do that looking back. And one would be, I think, falling in love with football and start to play football and dedicating and a lot to that and becoming an underage national team player and trying to become a professional. But life obviously had different ideas and plans with me. So that was the first one, that gave me the crazy love to sport that I have to any kind of sport and what sportsmen and women represent in our society, and how many people look up to them. The second one would be buying my first Wired magazine in the UK. I opened up towards technology and I always been a creative guy and always been a problem solver. And I think the third one would be, which helped us to get to see you and even have the idea of creating something that involves sports and IT. It was the recognition of that now I don't have to use the existing tools to solve a problem, an issue that, for example, the sports industry has. I can come up with one and create it with the help of IT and technology and programming. So I think those 3 key moments helped us to get to here where we are today.
That's fascinating, Tom. I want to know more specifically about the technology that you guys use in Seyu. What types of technology are you leveraging in the IT department to connect sports fans and brands together?
Most of the technology that we use was already existing and is out there. But the way how we align them in a way how it could work very smooth and reliable and deliver the right result to everybody who's expecting from it, be it the club, be it the fan, be it the sponsoring brand. it's that unique to see you. And we also, I would say, going forward, we are using like really cutting edge photo recognition softwares to make sure that the content is moderated, that we deliver to the public surfaces. We have to make sure protecting the brands, protecting the clubs, protecting ourselves. And obviously, that goes without saying, that should not be put out there, that shouldn't be out there. So what we do, we use an AI-assisted vetting programming that we created. And I think we are on the forefront of that. So if I have to highlight only one of the technologies that we use.
That sounds super interesting, Tom. Of course, you're the founder and the CEO of the company, but I want to know, when it just started and you saw that the new clients started to arrive and probably more money started to arrive as well, the company started to grow, how did you recruit it and attract the talent? What was the hiring process? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, going through different phases of the company. Now we are a 2-year-old company, so we grew a lot, and we have like 17 of us working together in this project. Like little less than 2 years ago, there were 3 of us, in the funding team, and obviously I'm like to pride myself in that I'm a guy who is trying to think ahead and walking through life with open eyes. So whenever at the beginning I saw, and it's still, today, it would apply, I guess. If I see a talented individual out there who has the ambitions and the right knowledge to add to our goal and our project, then I would suggest, he or she comes to work with us and see, how it is for her or him. But I think the one key aspect would be loving sport. That could, there are some long hours, there are some fallbacks in a startup's life, and you need that persistence, that you would need on the sports field in here as well. So I think the love of sport, that is key, when I'm hiring somebody.
I can sense your passion towards sports, and I guess that you wouldn't really you wouldn't get along with someone that isn't as passionate as you. So I feel like that's the reason why that's what the characteristic that you look for in people, and I appreciate that, Tom. That's fantastic. I want to ask you now a little bit about the product of Seyu and the product development. What's the roadmap? How do you see a few steps ahead the product development of Seyu in the next 2-3 years?
If we talk about Seyu, there are different fields, but first, just to see what we do and how we do, what's the user journey, we basically allow fans everywhere in the world to take photos, add motivating messages to them, and post them in real time to all digital channels in their favorite team stadium, be it the perimeter LED boards, the giant screens, and social media platforms of their own or the clubs. This is a process which sounds very easy, but there are different steps to take throughout it. So I would say for the user experience, we are planning to enhance to not only being able to write their own message, probably just up their selfies with different emojis, and all AR technology would be implemented in the next year for sure, and slowly moving into video. But for the video, we would like to introduce a new platform in the stadiums. And from the other point of view, when it comes to displaying the content, there are these companies working with their own softwares for the perimeter LED displaying system. So we're already doing good and delivering the pixel perfect content for them, which they can basically pull in immediately whenever they are willing to do that, or it's set with the club when to display the fan selfies. But we would like to make sure it could be automatized. So they have to develop in that sense as well to connect with our cloud-based platform immediately. So it would be smooth and you don't need any human intervening to display the content. It would be preset maybe days or weeks before the match, and we would just fill that slot on the LED boards with the fan selfies who were just sending it like a few seconds before that. So these are the goals that we have to achieve for just the 2 main ones, but there are many more. As I said, I need more time for that to explain.
Yeah, one thing I love about your mindset is that it really sounds like you are the new generation of up and coming founders, because you're already thinking I think you have the millennial chip that basically is thinking about how to automate things, how to make things more smooth, how to ease the process of which technology can be used. And most of the directors and founders and owners of sports companies today are already in the old mindset where they think that more people will do more job, more money probably will mean more opportunities. But I like that you're really thinking in a different mindset. And I want to switch over a little bit, since you've worked a lot with data and especially like fans, and you learned about people. So I want to know if there's any lessons that you learned through Seyu about human psychology, let's say fans' motives, interests, what they want, what they need. Is there anything you can tell us about that?
That's a great question, because our solution is not just only about delivering this content to the digital platforms of the stadium. It's also analyzing this content, not only from vetting purposes, but also for the purpose of market intelligence that we can provide our partners with, so they can learn about their target market in Asia, in Africa, in South America, and learn what is the best product or best way of communicating with them. What I learned so far from this kind of data is that the number one emotion that fans are looking for is belongingness. So this is what we can give them on a global scale, because I see them coming together in groups and taking photos in groups. Like 72% of photos coming through our system are family photos or friends together. And this is something that we have to look at when it comes to sport itself, the power of sport to unite people and bring together people and bridge differences. For example, if there is a guy who is a supporter of this political party and there is another guy who's a supporter of that political party, but at the weekend they meet at the match wearing the same jersey, they put that aside and enjoying the sports entertainment together and rooting for their own team. Imagine this. This is a local example of it. Imagine this on a global scale. When you have a guy cheering for Man United from South Korea, taking a selfie in a Man United jersey and posting it through our solution for the players to see, and there's another guy in South America, and then they see each other, in the joint album of the club, proudly presenting them like, look, these are the guys who are supporting us from millions of miles away. And then they hit off and have a conversation, and friendship starts and kindle, and it's just, I think it is a great power of our solution, and we are trying to enhance that, the satisfying that belongingness of the fans that they have on every kind of scale.
That's super, super interesting. I never thought about it that way, but it makes total sense. I feel like even deeper, you're building relationships. It might be interesting looking that into a little bit more, but I want to ask you about your organization and the culture of your organization. It takes a lot, and I've heard this from founders and I heard this from directors. It takes a lot of effort to actually set up a culture in your organization, set up the values, have a system that promotes these values on a daily basis, especially now with Corona, that you can't really meet with everyone, and it is actually harder to set up a culture. I want to know how you do it, or what has been the most challenging part of setting your organizational culture. What's your perspective on it? How you approach building culture? Tell us a little bit about that.
First of all, let's say you have to identify these cornerstones of the culture that you are building, that you are, what you are standing for as a person and what your company would like you to stand for, and finding the right people who would fit into that mindset and would represent that cause that the company you have on the right way. And some of them would have the openness, some of them would not. It is like when if I have to give you a metaphor, when a coach trying to set up a team and it's end of the season and have to sign new players, they are not only looking at it on a way like, okay, he is a good right winger and he had 52 assists last season and scored 20 goals. They would look at that, how would they fit in with the team, how the chemistry would go, and how would they stand for the values that they are representing as a team. And I think we have to look at the same thing here. And what we are trying to communicate at Seyu, it's the helping of the fans. So we are here to help, we are here to assist. It's not about us. It's about providing the fans with a tool to become part of the match days and have that connection with the players, with the club, and giving a chance to the club to recognize that. And the unity is part of our motto as well, because see you together for victory, and that's all. I think everybody at my company aware of that. This is our motto, and even when they are working, just today, like today, they are helping each other out. No matter this is my field or your field, what they are working there. No, they're just helping to each other. I think that's key.
The fan is always right. Let me say that again. The fan is always right. You know how they say the customer is always right? Well, no, in your case, the fan is always right. So customer centric, and I love that. Passionate about sports, and I also love that. It seems like CU is very focused on the experience, and of course you mentioned the belongingness of the fans, and you're basically dealing with human psychology, because sports is really a place where emotion and psychology and feelings come to play. So I feel like you have that approach in that you want to help fans have the best of the experiences, and I love that. Tom, that's fantastic. But since we're running out of time, and I want to know a little bit more about your spirit, and you're of course a great guy and an awesome entrepreneur. I want to ask you a more personal question, and that has to do with how you think about the world. What's your mission in this world? What's your purpose? If the question goes like this: if you could have a billboard that would be seen by millions of people, let's say fans, because you're really passionate about fans and about sports. Let's say millions of fans will look at the billboard put by you in anywhere in the world that you want. What would you write on it, and why?
Don't advertise on billboards. Advertise with CU. No, joking aside. Yeah, it probably would be believe in yourself. I think it's very important for many people in the world, because sometimes society and our immediate environment could knock us down and doubt ourselves and doubt things that we can achieve in life. I would say, if you don't believe in yourself, how you expect the world to believe in you and what you are standing for? So I would try to communicate that to the world. And even, you and me talking here, and hopefully we're going to reach a few guys and girls out there who are on the fence of thinking of, let's start my own business, or let's not, or maybe I'm not good enough. And only if we inspire them with our conversation today, that's a goal itself. I'm trying to not only focus on building a kick-ass company with a great solution that delivers huge value, not only for fans but for clubs as well. I'm also focusing on being an example, just to show some people who doubt themselves, listen, if he could done it, I can do it as well. And I'm no different than anybody else. I put in the work, and hard work always pays its dividends. This is it, I would say, believe in yourself.
Wow, that's really inspiring, Tom. I really appreciate that. I want to thank you so much for your time, your insight, your kindness. You're a great guy, and I'm sure there's going to be lots of great things coming for you and CU, for both of you in the future. And I can't wait to see what comes out of CU in the future. But for now, thank you so much for coming to the show and snacking with me, Tom.
Thank you for having me, man. Thank you for having me. It was great.
Before you leave, I want to thank you for listening. To hear these or any other halftime snack, check out the full archive on my website, which you can find on the show notes. See you next week.